Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Audi Greenville. We get to take a look at their 2022 Rivian R1T Launch Edition. So huge shout out to them for providing this fully electric pickup truck for me today. They have a huge selection of pre-owned and new inventory. Definitely check them out. That link is down in the description below. The Rivian that you see behind me is finished off in Launch Edition green. It's the crew cab, and they have a starting MSRP right around $85,000. And to start off today's review, let's talk about what powers this Rivian. This has a 128.9 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack combined with quad electric motors. There's one on each wheel. This is paired to the single speed transmission. It pumps out a combined 835 horsepower and 908 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through all four wheels. This weighs in right around 7,100 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, 0 to 100 in 9 seconds, with a top speed of 115 miles an hour. And as far as the range goes, this gets around 74 miles per gallon electric in the city, 66 out on the highway, with a total range of 314 miles. This has a wheelbase of 135.8 inches. Its overall length is 217.1. It has a width of 79, a height of 78.2, and its maximum ground clearance can reach 15 inches. And now as we move on to the exterior styling for this Rivian, it has a very futuristic design to it. Now, as you can tell with the headlights, they're in an oval design with the vertical pattern, along with a LED connector bar running right across the middle. The turn signals are also located in there as well, and Rivian is right in the middle with the quad design for the headlights and the high beams. This has LED fog lights nicely placed in the lower section, as well as a forward-facing camera to give you visibility, especially if you take this vehicle off the pavement. There's a lower grille with some mesh in it, as well as tow hooks finish off in brushed aluminum. There are forward-facing sensors, even cutouts on the sides of the fog lights, just to provide this truck with a little bit more aerodynamics. And then the middle section of the lower bumper is finished off in more of that trim just to give it a great contrast. Now I have all of the lights currently turned on at the moment, so you can really get a good look at that connector bar running right across the top. Now over on this driver's side, there are 3 lines just above that reflector. If I hover my finger over that, the entire cover will rotate outwards. This is how you plug in this truck. I think that is a really cool integrated design. If I just hover my finger on those 3 buttons again, it will close up and it looks flush with that corner. Very awesome to see that. So now as we move on to the side, currently I have this truck in its highest off-road setting, which allows this to have 15 inches of ground clearance. I'll play a clip with it going all the way to the easy access height, so all the way in the lowest position. Very awesome to see that if you do want to take this off-road or you just need some more ground clearance. This has a built-in onboard compressor, which allows you to do that. I'll show that here later in this video. This also has a really nice set of 20-inch wheels with a 5-spoke design, split spoke pattern to them, as well as the 2-tone with the yellow brake calipers just behind it. Now obviously, being an electric vehicle, this has the regenerative braking, which is nice to see. The Rivian badge is in the lower section of the door with more of that yellow trim. This even has body colored side mirrors with the integrated turn signal as well as a camera. And then up on the roof is the full moon roof. All of the window trim is blacked out. It gives it a great side design. Now, being the crew cab, obviously we have the full 4 doors with 1 bed size. I think it gives it a great design. What's awesome about this truck as well is on both sides, up on the bed rail, if I push on this button, it will unlock what's called the gear tunnel, and you can open that up on both ends, giving you an ample amount of extra storage. You can throw whatever items you have with you for the day. There's also some storage up underneath this step over on the driver's side, and you can actually use this as a step. So if I get up on this right now, I believe it can hold around 200 pounds. We can also get another look at this roof with the shark fin antenna, even a cool design for the back end, just to give it some more aerodynamics. So that is a neat hidden trick to see, having that cut through space for any items that you'd like to place. And then finishing up in the rear, same as that LED light bar up front, we have the connector bar for the taillights right in the middle. Very small turn signal though, compared to the front end design. This has a backup camera, all of the parking sensors, more of that trim in the lower section, and this even has a towing capacity right around 11,000 pounds. Pretty adequate for a fully electric vehicle. Now let's move on to this rear cargo space. In order to open the tailgate, there is a button over on the side. If I push on that, it will automatically go down. You do have to raise the tailgate back up by yourself, but there's a decent amount of space. There's some more LED lights on both sides. They're pretty large to give you a lot of light for this interior. There's also another camera up where the brake lights are as well. Over on this driver's side, if I lift this up, this is the built-in air compressor. You can see your PSI. If you're taking this off-road, you can air down and then quickly air back up. Over on the passenger side are two 3-prong outlets, so you can hook up some items there if you need to. There's also tie-down hooks. And then there's even more storage up underneath the bed. By pulling on that lever, you can see the entire middle open up, where you could place a spare tire if you wanted to, or just use this for extra interior storage. And like I mentioned earlier, you do have to lift this tailgate up. It's pretty lightweight, so it is easy to close. And before we move on to the interior, I don't know if you've been able to tell already, with the door handles, they actually have a flush design with this truck. So if I lock it, the power folding side mirrors will fold in, and then the door handle is now almost non-existent. Very flush with the vehicle. Now you can't walk up to it and just push on the handle. You do have to take the key fob out, push unlock for it to unlock. I do wish it had the smart key option where you could walk up to do that. But on the key fob, we have lock and unlock. You can even double tap this front button here to look at the additional storage space that is offered up front. So if I click on that button, this will open up by itself and give you a little bit more storage. Since obviously there's no engine up front, you have a little bit more storage space. I can even open up the floor. You can put in some groceries, any items that you may have. There's a dome light as well as a net up front. And then in order to close it, you do have to double tap on the key fob and again, and it will automatically shut. Very cool to see how integrated that is. So with this vehicle unlocked now, let's move on to these back seats. And the door handle is already out for me, so I'm just gonna grab on that like a normal door. Now the door panel has a great design to it. I love all of the leather. There's even wood trim surrounding the leather on the upper section. There's some brushed black chrome trim on the release handle. This even has the Meridian elevation sound system. A little bit of storage space in the lower section of the door, and you can actually open this up just to get a little better access. There's the window control, more of that brush trim. Just gives it a fantastic look, especially for this launch edition. It is pretty much fully loaded. Rivian is down on the door sill as well. And these seats have a great design to them. I love all the leather with the Rivian badge right in the middle. There's more piping and stitching. Great insert running down them too. And at 5'10", it's time to hop into this truck. Now I do have this in the highest off-road setting again. So even with the 15 inches of ground clearance, I can easily work my way up into the back. Now behind the front seats, there's some more storage pockets for any items you'd like to place. Really cool tab here along with a charge port along with the wood trim around it, so you could hook up electronics if you need to. Right in the middle is all the rear climate adjustments. So there's the air vents, there's also the fan speed. These are heated rear seats too, so you have those adjustments. You can easily get to the temperature, where you'd like the air to go. Pretty cool to be able to see that. You can sync these too. There's even another charge port on both sides. And then here's a look out of the rear window. It is a solid rear glass. And then also in the middle for the armrest, if I pull this down, there are two cup holders along with a little bit of storage behind that. There's even a large compartment even further behind that. So as you can tell, there's a good amount of space. You can open and close this door just if you want to hide those items. But it gives you a little bit of hidden storage space to place any items in there if you need to. Full moonroof, like I mentioned earlier. This even has Alcantara for the headliner. Very, very premium materials for the inside of this truck. And on both sides are the grab handles if you need to utilize those, with a speaker and the dome lights too. So definitely a lot of room for your backseat passengers. And now as we move on to these front seats, we have that same door handle, same door panel obviously with all the window adjustments, a lot more storage space in the lower section of this door. Rivian is down on that door sill, and then the front seats have even a cooler design to them. Same badging, piping, and stitching. They're automatic seats, so all those adjustments are down on the side, and the floor mats even have a cool texture to them as well. So now let's hop up into this truck with that grab handle up top. It's a little funky with it up there, but it's easy to get into this truck. Steering wheel is completely finished in solid leather with the Rivian badge right in the middle, more of the wood trim as well as the brush trim too. Now in order to start this vehicle, there is no actual engine start stop button. What I have found, right now the vehicle is in park. If I push on the brake as hard as I can, you'll see it turn to ready, meaning we are ready to put this vehicle into drive or reverse, and then park is on the end of that stalk, as well as the adaptive cruise and all of that technology. So that is it. Once you see ready, you are ready to go. In order to shut this off, I have found if I just shut the door, exit the vehicle, and lock it, it will automatically turn off. And then looking at the digital gauge cluster on the right side, you can see what gear you're in, as well as the battery level, the suspension height, There's even the driving mode too, so I'll show that later how to enter that. You can see a depiction of what driving mode you're in. And then over on the left side, there's also the lighting as well as your seatbelts, and even a depiction on how much battery energy you're using and the efficiency for this model. On the left side of the steering wheel, there is a scrolling dial for the audio and tuning. There's also another scrolling dial over on the right side. On the left side of the steering wheel is some more leather and trim, along with an air vent hidden in the back section, more of that wooden trim too. And right in the middle is this massive touchscreen system that has a lot to offer. Now on the lower section, as you can tell right in the middle, navigation is on this left side, so we can currently see that full screen. There's also a shortcut to the music. If I click on what looks to be the off-road button there, that allows you to go through the different driving modes. So there's all-purpose, sport, you have the conservative, off-road, and towing. You can even adjust the ride if you'd like it stiff or soft. We have the regenerative braking along with the stability. And then over on this right side are the different ride heights. So lowest, low, standard, high, and highest. It even tells you how much ground clearance you're going to get with each ride height. Pretty awesome to see that. On the right side of that button, there's the RT1 logo along with the truck right in the middle, and a few specs over on that right side, like the color. The interior is called Black Mountain. There's the battery with the large pack, the odometer. Really neat to see that. On this left side, you can even access being able to open up the hood as well as the charge port. There's the gear tunnel, which you can open left or right. You can even open and close the tonneau cover, which I did not show. So I'll put in a clip right now of that working. You can open up the tailgate, adjust your mirrors, fold your mirrors in, adjust the wheels too. There are a lot of different settings, even a car wash setting. If I go into the lights, you can configure the cabin lights as well as being able to lock and unlock the rear. And then pushing on the truck, we are back to this setting. We can even pull up the camera system. With this massive screen, there's a lot of angles. Currently, this is the forward-facing camera along with the side mirrors facing forwards. Now, if I click on this button, we can show just one of those with the top-down view, and then you can change it again to the front view. We can go to the rear camera and change those angles too. Pretty cool to have that amount of visibility. If I push on these three buttons, we have the cameras, the gear guard, the phone. You can basically set what you'd like to have on this far end. So if you want to look at your energy, your percentage left, you can quickly pull that up. This even has the defrosters, heated seat controls. If I click on the fan speed, we can pull up all the climate adjustments for the heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats for driver and passenger. Fan speed is right in the middle. There's recirc. We can even get to the rear climates just by going into there. There are two air vents just underneath that with the Rivian logo, as well as a good amount of storage space down below. This even has a removable Bluetooth speaker. You can pull that out and now you have music you can listen to. You can hook up whatever you want. Pretty cool to see that located right in the lower section. And then right above that, if I push inwards, two cup holders will pop out. So it's great to have those and out of the way when you're not using those. And then right in the middle with the split design for the armrest, I'll just push on the end of it. They will automatically open up. There is a good amount of storage along with two USB-Cs, so you can place in a lot of items if you need to. There's a good amount of storage space just in front of that, and there is no glove box over on the passenger side. So you do have a lot of storage in the lower section and in the middle to accommodate for that. And then like I mentioned earlier, this has the full moonroof. We can get a look at the Alcantara again. And then right in the middle are some call buttons, the rear view mirror obviously, and we'll take one last look at this interior. Definitely a great spec. As we set off behind the wheel now for this 2022 Rivian, this is the first time I've ever seen one in person. So it's pretty cool that Audi Greenville got their hands on one. From what I've heard too, this is kind of like how Tesla started, where there's no Rivian dealership. So you have to go online, give them a call in order to order your Rivian, and then I believe they ship it right to you since they do not have any dealers. So pretty interesting. We'll see what the company has for the future if they start making some dealerships, so that way you can easily see these and actually view them in person. Because if you're like me, I want to see what the vehicle has to offer, check it out in person first. I'm not sure if you can schedule test drives or not with Rivian, but with over 800 horsepower as well as torque, let's go into car now, where we can go to the different driving modes. We're in sport mode right now. Here we go. Now, this is a heavy truck, around 7,000 pounds, so that was a good acceleration, and I would say it's adequate for the weight of this truck. It's a lot of horsepower and instant torque, but it still weighs a lot. So that's impressive. It's impressive for the weight of this truck and what it has to offer. And you have a few different other driving modes there. What I think is the coolest feature is this adaptive suspension where you can go up to 15 inches of ground clearance. That is pretty cool. There's no axles on this truck. So you have a lot of under clearance or under the ground clearance there where you could take this to the trails and really have some fun if you want to take this off-road. You can tow with this truck. Seems to be a pretty practical pickup truck that still offers pickup truck capabilities, as well as having additional storage, which a normal gasoline version pickup would not have, like up front, the gear tunnel in the back, and then even underneath the cargo floor. So for the design of this truck, it gives you a lot if you're looking for an electric vehicle. Now, I had the chance to have a different type of electric vehicle for 1 week, and I thought it was a cool concept. Personally, I'm not an electric vehicle type of person. I would never buy one. However, that doesn't mean I don't like them. I think they are pretty cool, but I think there's still some technology that needs to be updated as far as like the range goes for these types of vehicles. Just over 300 miles is pretty good. You're not going to be taking this on long trips unless you're planning for where you need to charge this. We'll give it another acceleration. It's so cool to not hear anything. You just get up and go. And it's pretty quiet overall. You can hear the motor slightly, but if you're looking for a quiet vehicle, this is definitely going to give you that. There's no road noise, wind noise. It seems very composed, very smooth too. I even have the ride currently on stiff. So if we put it to soft now, I can feel a little bit of a difference. You know, I'm not on a different road here, obviously. It's going to be kind of the same ride, but you can put it into soft if you want to. And then we also have the regenerative braking, which you can put on high, which means that I don't have to put my foot necessarily on the brake pedal. And we have the one pedal drive, which a lot of electric vehicles do offer. And then as we switch over to the POV angle, we'll take a quick glance at visibility from the driver's seat. Like any other pickup, pretty much no blind spots with the solid glass in the rear and then the window obviously right there. And we have the camera system too, which is of course great. If you're taking this off the pavement or just in parking lot situations, it's nice to have that added visibility. And if I take my foot off the accelerator right now without touching the brake pedal, giving it a little bit more gas, we can come to a complete stop with the one pedal driving. Really cool to have that. And we'll do another acceleration. Not even quarter throttle with the road that I'm on. We'll do another one here in just a little bit, but this is up to speed. It's pretty cool. I will say it rides like a normal truck would. We're still in stiff over some of those bumps, but I like that it has the option to switch that out for the suspension. And for the weight of this truck too, it doesn't seem like it weighs that much. Like it carries its weight well, even coming to a stop and slowing down. But I really like how this rides. Taking it around some of these turns, even in the soft mode and coming to a stop. It seems to handle pretty well. So one last acceleration for today's video. And we are up to speed. Definitely a cool truck to check out. Comment down below, what do you guys think of this Rivian? Once again, a huge shout out to Audi Greenville for providing this fully electric pickup for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website because they have a ton of awesome pre-owned and new inventory on the lot. I hope you enjoyed today's walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of this 2022 Rivian R1T Launch Edition. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. And with one last acceleration, I will see you all in the next video.